Hello, very good morning. Good morning, Ghana. Good morning to everyone, and welcome to another refreshing edition of the Morning Focus on MBN with El Samuels. The rest of the team will be joining. Every sunrise is a reminder that God has given us another opportunity to begin again, to love better, to serve faithfully, and to make a difference. And as we journey through today's program, we'll bring you the stories that shape our nation, the conversations influencing our future, and the inspiration your heart needs to end the week on a hopeful note. Today's theme is love and relationship, because once economies build nations, healthy relationships build people. Is love enough to sustain a relationship? Has social media strengthened or weakened our connections? We will explore these important questions and much more. Wherever you are watching from, thank you for making Morning Focus your breakfast companion. Let's begin, as usual, with our scripture for the day. This morning, I got a lot to share with you. I got a lot to go through with you. I got a lot for us to have a discussion with. And I believe that the week has been a wonderful time being with you from Monday to today. Right? And today we'll be looking more Black Stars game, your predictions. Give you opportunity this morning. You can call us on 053-715-8638 is the numbers you can join us. And let's have a conversation. The Black Stars are playing those dawn 1:30 a.m., right? I think that's the time for the game. So those of you who want to sleep and wake up for us to tell you the results, you can go and sleep. Those of us who will be here to watch along will also be here. So whichever way it is, we'll get to know the results. And I know definitely the Black Stars will scale through to the round of 16. No doubt about that. Scale through the round of 16. No doubt about that. Definitely we will go through. That's the big one in there. But let me start with you something I chanced on before we go to our main scripture, brought to you in association with Maranatha Power Ministry, where I'll be inviting you to come fellowship with us. Yeah, to come fellowship with us tonight. Tonight, we have a mega all night coming up. This and every Friday. We'll have the mega all night coming up. This and every Friday. So I'll invite you to come fellowship with us on mega all nights. And don't forget that Sunday we have 2 services as well, also coming off. And then I'll tell you more about Maranatha Power Ministry International, as well as bringing it up to speed with other other aspect of our services on Sunday as well, at 7 a.m. and also 9 a.m. So I'll tell you more on this as we sojourn for God and for country. Like I said, the numbers on the screen is 053-715-8638 is the numbers you can also join us. And let's have a tete-a-tete this morning. Before we jump into our mainstream, let me go through what the menu is like for this morning. The scripture focus will also be coming out, but just before we go into deep, I just want to share this scripture with you based on our team. And this one is from the book of 1 Peter, the chapter 4, the verse 8. And I read, it said, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins, and that is First Peter, the chapter 4, the verse 8. Love is far more than emotion. It is a daily decision. Feelings may fluctuate with circumstances, but genuine love chooses patience over anger. That is genuine love. Genuine love chooses patience over anger, forgiveness over revenge, understanding over assumptions, and sacrifice over selfishness. The Apostle Paul says, above all, because without love, every relationship eventually becomes a battlefield of pride and offense. Love doesn't ignore mistakes. It creates room for healing and restoration and growth. That is what love does. Many relationships collapse not because love disappeared, but because grace disappeared. Healthy relationship survives when two imperfect people choose mercy over every single day. So as you begin this Friday, ask yourself, am I demanding perfection from others, or am I extending the same grace God has shown me? I said, as you begin this Friday, ask yourself, am I demanding perfection from others, or am I extending the same grace God has shown me? Now, the question out there, so you ask yourself this question before we move on. Well, so now let's look at our main scripture for the morning from the book of Luke, the chapter 18, the verse 1. The answer is to pray again. That is the title of this morning's scripture focus. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. They should always pray and not give up. That is Luke, the chapter 18, the verse 1. You know, life has a way of testing our faith. There are reasons when prayers seem unanswered, opportunities remain out of reach, and the weight of disappointment tempts us to stop believing. It is often in those moments that God whispers the simplest yet most powerful instruction: pray again. Prayer is not informing God about your situation. He already knows. Prayer is positioning your heart to trust Him whilst He works behind the scene. Every prayer is an act of surrender, declaring that God's power is greater than your problem and His wisdom is higher than your understanding. The widow in Luke 18 received justice not because the judge was compassionate, but because she refused to stop asking. Jesus used that story to teach us that persistence in prayer moves us from discouragement to expectation. You know, sometimes the delay is not God's denial, it is God's preparation. So whilst you are waiting for the answer, God is shaping your character. God is strengthening your faith, aligning your circumstances according to His perfect will. Perhaps you have prayed about your marriage, your family, your health, your finances, or that long-awaited breakthrough. I'm here to announce to you that don't let silence convince you that God is absent. Heaven is never indifferent to the prayers of God's children. He sees every tear, hears every cry, and remembers every promise He has made. All you need to do is to pick the scriptures. He said, remind me. So all you do in prayer is to remind God of His promises, which are yes and amen. All you need to do is to let God pick his word and remind him that he will do, he promised to do exceedingly and abundantly beyond what you think or comprehend. You want to remind God that you say, you are with me, whether through the fire, through the water, through the wilderness, it will not overwhelm me. Remind him that he said he will make a tree become a forest. So God's word. So before you surrender to fear, pray again. Before you give in to anxiety, pray again. Before you conclude that nothing will change, pray again. Your next prayer could be the one that ushers in the breakthrough you have been believing God for. God delays are never his denials, and his timing is always perfect. Amen. And I know wherever you are, you will say amen to this. And let's pray this morning and say with me, say, Heavenly Father, thank you for reminding me that I should never stop praying. When I become weary, renew my strength. When I feel discouraged, increase my faith. Help me to trust your timing, even when I cannot see what you're doing. Teach me to persevere in prayer, knowing that you hear every word and are working all things together for my good. Today I choose faith over fear, persistence over giving up. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. And if you pray this prayer, I invite you, you are warmly invited to fellowship with us at the Mega all night as we gather to worship, pray, and experience God's transforming presence. Every Friday at 10 p.m., a powerful night of prayer, worship, and the word. Mega all night. Mega all night. Sundays, we have first service at 7 a.m. called the Victory Service. And second service, 9 a.m., the Breakthrough Service. Come expecting life-changing encounter with God. Bring your family, your friends, and loved ones. There is a place for you. We look forward to welcoming you tonight for the Mega All Night, where faith is strengthened and lives are transformed and hope is renewed. A very good morning to you. God bless you for keeping your channels locked with MBN TV, your mega broadcasting network, Aphrodite Multimedia. Joining me on set is Bernard Agbemo Eduji. Bernard, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, El, and good morning to viewers.
And welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
And how have you been?
Been good.
We thank God for a beautiful Friday morning, the 3rd day of July. People are swimming in the Republic Day holiday already, where the holiday was supposed to be the 1st, but where the interior ministers and from Parliament, we need to celebrate it today.
Yeah.
And so wherever you are watching us from, a very good morning to you. Exactly 8 a.m. we'll be crossing over to join Nathaniel on the flip side, where we're going to have conversation. Remember, Fridays are love and relationship. Love and relationship. How was your night? How prepared are you for the Black Stars game coming off later tonight?
Well, as you can see,
I can see you in your Black Star.
For the very first time, I am wearing something to support the Black Stars. I mean, a friend heard me say that my love for the Black Stars is almost dead. And so she decided to bring it back to life by adding this to a wonderful birthday package she delivered to me. Thank you very much, Winifred. I really appreciate it and I love you. So yes, with day from Vim Day, I've been listening to your people, the sports analysts, and they've been saying that we do well with European teams. And when we meet European teams and North American sides, we try a but we struggle against South American teams. I mean, of course, because of Uruguay and all of that. But still, Vindi, I am full of confidence that the Blasters will give us victory tonight. Yes, I'm just a little disappointed in the performance of fellow African countries, especially in Senegal, who, despite a 2-0 lead, suffered that embarrassing defeat against what was the name of that country, which they should not have. I mean, it was so embarrassing, very, very embarrassing.
With Belgium?
With Belgium. I mean, Belgium no dey form like that. It's not those 2018 and even 2022 Belgium. No, I mean, this Belgium team is a shadow of what we've known them for. And for you to have a 2-0 lead and then sit back, relax or whatever, I don't know what they were pushing for, just to suffer that embarrassing defeat. I mean, I know I've seen some litigation from from the players. It means that my disappointment is justified. If the players themselves are agitating, then it means I mean, yes. And so far, how many African countries have played? I think 6 or.
Yeah, we've done DR Congo, we've done Senegal, we've done Morocco, we've done South Africa.
We've done South Africa, and it's just one who has been able to.
Morocco is gone through.
Morocco is gone through. South Africa is gone home.
Yes,
DRC is gone home. Senegal is gone home.
It's gone. So it's left with a couple of varieties. It's left with
Ghana, Egypt, Algeria. Yeah. So so we are hoping that at least 3 can join Morocco into the round of 16. The reason I am disappointed is that you can even explain it better. The struggle to get FIFA to increase the number of African countries participating in the World Cup, only for us to. I was happy when 9 out of the 10 progressed to that was impressive, but at least 5 or something out of at least half of that number should move to the next.
Well, even if 3 or 4 gets to the next round, I think African have done well. Now the Asians want to learn how did African was able to get 9 out of 10 to get to the next stage of the competition. That alone is a mind blowing.
Yeah.
And Africa is not playing badly
at all. We are not playing badly.
Only thing we've done is to the last embers of the game that we relax, take our legs off the paddle, and then we get punished.
Yeah.
And because if you watch the 2 games, when Senegal played against Belgium, each half you got a goal. Then, instead of managing the game, you decided to go for more goals.
Yeah.
And in tournament, it's played with some kind of a pedigree. When you take your chances and it gets to a point, you begin to now go for the low blocks to be able to manage the game.
Yeah.
You manage it in a way that if there's a breakthrough, you go in for it and get a go and
come back.
But you don't go full that we want to play with you. And that's exactly what DR Congo also did. After getting the goal, they decided now, we want to play with you.
Yeah.
If you go that way in tournament, you'll be punished. Now watch Ghana's first game against Panama. We know our strengths. We know our weakness. We know that we have a weakling defense. Okay, with this coach coming in, at least we've been able to work on the low block side of our game. So first half we didn't do well. We're so bad. But second half, he introduced 2-3 players into the game. A ball juggler, somebody that can hold on to ball and then chase after the defense of the opponent. So it caused Panama to draw back. Now they want to play the low back. Now watch how our goal came. We soak a pressure, we cut them on a break, we got a goal. And when we got a goal, then we rally again. Now we don't sit deep. We move a bit on the edge of our 18-yard box, getting to the center line. So it becomes so difficult to penetrate. Watch our game against England. We didn't do badly because we didn't sit deep. If we have set deep, then we're going to cause problems. But we'll make sure that by the time the ball, before it gets to our final 10, there should be 1, 2, 3 players in the block to be able to stop the move. You can't beat 3 at a go. At least if you've done 1, 2, the third person should be able to take the ball. So you'll be surrounded, just as they were also doing to our forward liners, that these people can catch us on the break. If the referee has been a bit loud, that last chance that we had, and the player was crunched on,
it should have been a penalty.
That's the point, but the VAR did not call it. Fair enough. Look at us against Croatia. We thought we can play with them, match them boot for boot. Now, when they got the goal, we now did a change, got a goal, and instead of closing in, we allowed that set piece to get them the second goal. Okay, but if you watch that game, among all the games, that is a game that at least the statistics were not overwhelmed. 53-47. We were not overwhelmed. We took we didn't take certain chances where we blast the balls over the bar. But DRC, Senegal, you get 2 goals and you allow Belgium to come in, equalize the goal, go extra time, create a penalty. And I was asking, what changes was the coach doing? I was so furious. So I'm not surprised the players themselves are not happy with the coach. To be honest, I'm not surprised because his performances, his changes really cost them big time. And I don't know the kind of formation he decided to play. Now watch England game, which they were down and came back and won 2-1. You think maybe something happened after the water break to England?
Yeah. I saw how Thomas Tuchel was.
Now, when they came back after that water break, everything.
In fact, when I observed the scene, how Tuchel was instructing them and everything, I knew.
I think there's
DRC,
some new injection that has been.
I knew DRC was doomed for eviction because look, it was clear. I read. You could see that. Hey guys, you know we can't take this. Go there, do this.
15 minutes to humiliation.
Yeah.
And they were able to turn it around.
And Kane, oh my God.
They turn it around. And you see, as horrific as the forward liner is, you don't give him that space. If you watch against Ghana, he had only 1 chance, which he blasted over the bar.
Yeah.
He had only 1 chance. Not that they placed players on him. What they did was to cut supplies from going to him. Just cut the supply. Don't make sure balls get to him. And that's how Ghana did it perfectly. This time right now, I've said that defensively, irrespective of going into this tournament with that leaking defense, we've been able, from the 3 games we've played, we've been able to manage our defense line very well. I pray that this dawn, the players will come to the party. I pray. That's my prayer. If we could see doing 120%, as we did against England, as we did against the Panama, coming back in the second half, playing a bit stronger, not being the weakling team, but being a bit stronger, we'll pull a surprise against the Colombians.
I hope we do.
Now, for me, honestly speaking, I'm not afraid of the South American teams. There are some teams I'm not afraid of. especially when it comes to South American teams. I'm not afraid of them because if we also start to play hard, they will coil in. That's the way they are. You saw what we did to Panama second half. When we start to hold to the ball, put the ball on the turf, start to play manly with them, they coil in. So that is how you go into this game. So you look at the first 15 minutes, what will work. The next 10 minutes, what do we do? By the 25th minute, you take a decision whether you are going for the long balls or you hold on to ball, break the play, cut them on the run, and that's it. And once, and I was telling somebody, if Colombia makes a mistake and Ghana gets a goal or two, they should forget it.
That's true. That's true.
No, they should forget it.
That's true. I mean, they cannot, knowing what you have played.
If
low block, I don't think they can.
No. You see, none of the teams have mastered that in the tournament so far. None of the teams have been able to master that. And you see, you play tournament with certain kind of formation, but what you need, and this is a knockout stage, it's winner takes all.
Yeah.
It is not all play all. This is winner takes all. So when you get knocked, you are out. You don't have a place where maybe you go to the semi-final, when you get knocked, you stay and say, I'm playing for the third place. No. There is nothing like that. When they give you the knock, you are gone. Just as all the teams that have been given knock, by now they've all packed baggage and left. You can't stay there. You can't stay there for 2 days. You finish the game today, by the following day you are packing. That's how the tournament is. Give way to traffic.
Yeah.
Whether on your left or on your right, away bus. And that's exactly, but honestly speaking, I have the feeling that we are beating Colombia. Yeah.
We hope.
No, I have that trust that we are beating Colombia. Just like I said, there is no way we'll not win against Panama. I have that same feeling that there's no way we're going to lose against Colombia. We'll go to the round of. If we don't make what we did in 2010, right? If we don't make what we did in 2010,
by going to the quarterfinals,
we should repeat 2006,
round 16.
Yeah. If we don't make 2010, which is a quarterfinal,
but you know, in 2010, we didn't have to play round of 32.
No. So
what we've done can equalize 2006. So if we come home,
if we go to the round, if we come home, we've done that of what we do 2000. I'm looking at it from this point of view. Let's go beyond. Let's look. If we get through, that means that we are meeting the winner between Switzerland and Algeria.
That is easier.
Yeah. Switzerland or Algeria.
Why didn't we meet Austria? Yesterday they were like they just came some.
No, you know, sometimes it depends on the team you meet.
I know, right? But this Austrian team would have beaten them. You can't even tell what they were playing. I was so confused. What are these guys doing? It's just like they even wish they could tell the referee that Ogan Charlie that Tenugu were just close.
You mean David Alaba in the scene, right?
Oh.
You mean David Alaba in the scene couldn't see the
Australia.
The goal was too rough for them.
Australia, United Nations no Oh my God! Yes, they're not convincing and things. Whereas the Australia said, "This guy, what are you doing? Ghana, if you face Spain, won't be this poor. What's that bad? I mean." Anyway.
It's like that sometimes. You go to tournament and expectations become so low. I remember when we went to Egypt 2009 when we won the U23 World Cup. We didn't start very well, but once we were able to go out of the group stage, we started finding our bearings, start building on the momentum, and that is how tournament goes about. This time around, I think, in respect of losing to Croatia, I think that was one of our finest games. against the Croatians in terms of ball possession. One of our defensive network that really worked was against England, because whether to go to oval or to go to straight was quite difficult for them to break us apart. And then just as we had that last minute chance against Panama, we had a similar one against England, and which could have resulted in a penalty though, but that is it is what it is. Now the attention is on Colombia. Just a few hours from now, that game will come on. At least fainted hearted, go to sleep. Go and sleep when it's 8 p.m. Go and sleep. If you can't wait when it's 10, sleep so that you won't see 1:30. But some of us, we will sit, we'll be in the trenches to bring the reports from all the centers that will be showing that midnight. Sunday, I saw in the memory.
Let's say if Ghana wins this game,
I was a Saturday.
Saturday.
So the whole of Saturday, we'll go to church on Sunday.
So the game ends around 3 a.m.
By 3 a.m.
If Ghana wins this game, so look till 6 p.m. Saturday. Yeah, that will be a debut. Yeah, so this if Ghana wins this game, oh trust me, nobody is sleeping till 6 p.m. the next day. Yeah,
but definitely, I don't know, but you see, the same feeling I had towards the Panama game, it's the same feeling I'm having around this game. I don't know. We'll knock all those South Americans, we'll kick them out. We'll kick them out. We will keep them. And if we keep them out and we get to the round of 16, either Switzerland or Algeria, trust me that we're going. No. Trust me, we're going.
Hey, Algeria.
Trust me, we're going.
I'll be comfortable with Switzerland than Algeria.
Oh. Well, let's go. Sly, get me Nathaniel. Nathaniel says he's ready.
Okay.
Let's go to have a conversation with Nathaniel this morning. Let's go. So, Sly, please put Nat on the line for me, and then let's go. Let's talk with him on the subject, whether social media is spoiling, how they call it, relationship, right? Yeah. With social media, is it enough to, is love enough to sustain a relationship? I don't think it's yes, right? Do you think it's yes?
Love.
Skakakra, odokakra, akusumbo, we are there. Also, or chisel. Remember that song?
I don't think I do.
Ah, it's an old song, right? I say odokakra, skakakra. Love small, money small, and then the rest all are history. You know, so that is how it is. But PCR, if you're ready, get all right. So let's go straight to have a conversation this morning with our man Nathaniel on the line. Nat, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? And grace abound. And how is the family doing today with our subject this morning on a very I don't know whether to call it nice topic for discussion. We know social media has transformed the way we communicate, connect, and also build relationship. From WhatsApp and Facebook to Instagram to TikTok, X, and Snapchat, couples can now stay connected across cities and continents with just a click. But whilst this platform have made communication easier, they've also introduced new challenges. Issues such as online infidelity, jealousy, privacy concerns, unrealistic relationship expectation, excessive screen time, and misunderstanding over posts, likes, comments, and direct messages have become common source of conflict. On the other hand, Many couples credit social media for helping them meet their partners, maintaining long-distance relationship, celebrating milestones, and also strengthening emotional bond. So the question remains, is social media bringing couples closer together, or it is slowly driving them apart? So today, we want to exploit both sides of the conversation and ask whether the problem lies with the social media itself or with how we choose to use it. And to help us unpack this is our regular expert, Nathaniel. Nat, would you say social media has done more good than harm to relationships, and why?
Good morning to you, and good morning to all our cherished listeners and happy birthday to all that you have done to all that here. So your second question, is Bernard with you?
Yeah, Bernard is here with me.
Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning. Good to hear from you again.
Yes. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, second question. Social media is destroying marriages that wants to destroy, and it's building marriages that wants to build. That is my answer. I'm simple like that. Just like everything that we have in the world. It depends on who is using it and who is interfacing with it. We have several developments in terms of the era. We had several times in the past that we didn't have social media. But we still have more cases. We still have people going through one challenge or the other. And so, the problem doesn't have to necessarily be with the era in which we are. But what we are willing to learn in that particular era. Yes, I agree with you. There are certain situations that make certain situations prevalent. I agree with you. But that doesn't take away the fact that whatever era we are getting is to need to be able to learn the premise of that particular era. Or else, you need when that particular phase, the question of solution. We have instances where people are being victims of certain circumstances in certain era because they are not protected that particular era, or they were not really, they really prepare themselves for that particular era. So the social media in and by itself is only a tool, it's a force, not a means. Somebody will say, which people are weak? No, when the way is very easy or kind, when that amplifies you where we are or you where. So, if when found itself in the hand of a generous person, it just becomes more generous. If money is in the hand of a wicked person, it just becomes more wicked. Because it is an opportunity to roll it on, other people's faces. Whereas, in the rest of the things that is true without people, in a general way, social media in and by itself is not starting destroying marriages. It is about interfacing with it. It's about who is using it. So for some people, it is building their relationships and marriages. Because when they are going to read, they have to really see the face of their partner. But today, because of social media, they are willing and it feels like they're doing their act because you can see whatever it is that is going on. That can go sometimes actually on the travel. They have to see the decision and the video goes on and they are interacting. But for that people, it's an opportunity for them to interface with other people. If you give them the ability to speak with other people, that's what we call the social media and the that. So, social media in and by itself is not destroying or promoting. It just depends on who it is that is using it and then protecting the law. Yes.
But how does, comparing our relationship with what we see online affect our expectations?
Okay, so I think another part of the question, how is it affecting you?
Yeah, I'm saying that how does comparing our relationship with what we see online affect our expectations?
That is what the actually. So let me also try to answer the question in a more generic sense.
Okay.
I need a more specific answer to the question when you guys asked me by saying that it is ensuring humanity that wants to be destroyed and it's also promoting marriage that wants to promote it. And then the law also use the reason of the fact that it is destroying more marriages because people are very valuable. You have a lot of people who are very valuable as a family. So yes, that fact is there. To be able to get on the positive side of social media, you need to approve yourself, you need to interpret it properly. But to a particular question, the impact of the fallout or the negative aspect of social media, marriage and relationship. Because if you actually be able to see what else is happening in another room, whether it is sweet or original, and depends on how you have built yourself in terms of your growth and expectations, that is likely to anchor in growth in terms of your own marriage. Because when you begin to see yourself as less progressive, you begin to see your marriage as less enjoyable. Because like you always say, and that is there somewhere or elsewhere, that's what people always say. We always see the status. So for people who are able to directly see, like for people who are not very confident in themselves, for people who self-worth is very new. Yes, social media tends to make them compare themselves to other people, and when the other person are seeing you better than them, then it tends to cause issues for them in their marriage. You know? So it is one of the things that is the fallout of social media. It makes people, tend to compare themselves so much to other people. And in one case, they are comparing themselves to people who they think are new better than them. And these things, these things, something that hurt. And then they feel what they are reminding themselves. So yes, they are very likely to say that that comparison thing. Social media is a lot. I mean, the one that is a global village because of social media. You look at your phone and you see what is happening in India and China and other places. And so yes, for people who are very low self-esteem, and I don't really actually do the less than involved, I mean, for them to do of their marriages and relationships, so social media is not affecting it. You're right.
Has it also make cheating easier, or has it simply made it easier to discover? I'm asking that, has the social media made cheating easier, or has it simply made it easier to discover?
Yes, it has made cheating easier. That has made people and getting relationships also easier. So it is a network.
Okay.
That's why I said that I answered the question the way I did. Because so long as there is improvement in communication and making it easier to get in touch with people, only one thing that can help any other person to do also is possible. So we need to get out of the house to be able to meet someone to start a different relationship. But today, that's not the point of the lesson. You are able to someone. So it makes it much more easier for people who are promiscuous to, get so well on their face. So yes, it has made it very easy for people to see, because it is just easy to connect with people. So yes, that's true. In fact, to the extent that these days the things that are happening on our phones, sometimes people don't even need to get out. There's a lot of things that go on between people on phones. I mean, of course, it's the daytime show where we can't get into all that. But yes, that is very, very, very easy for people to cheat. And that is why, in our age and time, you need to be very strong-willed to excuse certain very negative, how do you call it, conduct. Because if before you need to step out of your house, that is a restraint, it's a level of restraint. But just lying in bed, you can click on the button and then, it makes it very, very easy. And that's why I'm a little diverse a little. I support a certain form of regulation, especially when it comes to young people. Because even for adults, addiction is evident. How much more for people who have not been able to already build a very strong principles that will help them regulate what they do and what they don't do. So yes, it's very easy to be promiscuous. I agree with you.
But you didn't mention something like you need to be intentional about what you want to do. So what role should trust play in a relationship where both partners are active on social media? Now, I'm asking that what role should trust play in a relationship where both partners are active on social media?
Okay, so social media is an amplifier, and that's called that already.
Yeah.
And so it is who is holding the phone much more than what is happening on the phone. Because it is who is holding the phone that influences what is happening on the phone. So what is very diverse a little. When I find person asking whether it is wrong or right to have access to your partner's phone or not, my question to them is, why do you want to have access to your partner's phone? So the question begins with, what has been a situation in terms of trust between the two of you? So you leave social media for a minute, and let's deal with what the trust issues are between the two people. When people really have issues trusting their partner, then social media becomes an amplifier to that mistrust. So it is not so much about their level of activity on social media. It has more to do with what is their level of trust. I mean, the trust between themselves, even away from social media. That is the first point of call.
Okay.
So I advise that people should deal with the insecurities they have with regard to their partners, the mistrust they have in terms of their partners, and not necessarily about what it is that is happening on their social media or what is not happening on their social media. Because you see, chances are that you never even get to know what it is that is happening on somebody's social media if they don't want you to see it. So it's more about what are you seeing about your partner that is making you feel insecure? What are you seeing about your partner? What is he doing? What is she doing that is making you not trust him to the latter or her to the latter? That is first what you're supposed to deal with. So have a conversation about that. And not necessarily about, I want to see what you're doing on your social media, I want to see what it is that you're doing on your phone. That is far-fetched. Deal with what it is that you're seeing that is making you feel insecure in terms of your relationship with the person. Yeah, so I don't want to really be much more focused on their level of activity on social media. Because there is what is happening in real life that is carried on to the social media. So they should sit down and really discuss. I feel that your communication with me are not too clear. When I ask you questions about certain things, you are not forthright in your answering. Deal with that. Because that is the most important. Whatever I do that somebody is doing in the social media, like I understand already, that is the translation of what it is that they're doing with you in real life. Yeah.
Interesting. For those of you viewers out there, you can send your messages in reaction to a very simple question as to whether social media strengthens your relationship or causing more problems. Share your experience with us via our WhatsApp number or SMS on 053-715-8638. I did love to hear from you. Now, let me come back to Nathaniel. I mean, we know people have conflict with the likes, the simple actions like liking photos or replying to someone's story often creates conflict in relationship. Why does those things happen?
Yes. So like I said, when you see your partner liking somebody's photo on social media or
replying to someone's story. I said replying to someone's story.
Yes. If you see your partner or your partner is responding to somebody's message or the popular one posting your partner posting somebody else on their status, and that's a reflection of who it is that they are in real life. You see, why don't we see likes and clicks on social media? Let us see it as something distant from humans. These are human activities that have been extended to social media.
So
it's just a simple extension of what it is that you would have done with somebody else that is being done on social media. And so yes, if somebody is clicking or liking somebody's photo and you feel insecure, yes, it's just an extension of what it is that you would have really done in real life. So if you feel concerned about it, then you need to talk about it. Because you see, because social media is like a marketplace.
Yeah.
And whatever everybody does is seen by everybody else. In fact, if they really simplify people, it affects, I think that's what I should say, people who are very insecure. Because there are people who wouldn't want you to stick with another person. But because social media is a public place, whatever you do is out there. And so your partner, whoever it is that is very insecure about themselves, as far as you are concerned, are all seeing those things. So, yes, if you feel a bit concerned about what it is that somebody else is doing in terms of clicking and liking and all those things, I again want you to have that conversation with your partner. And for whoever it is that is interpreting it as either wrong or right, you are right or wrong. It just has to do with you having a conversation with the partner and find out why they reshared or reposted or whatever. See, social media has now made whatever it is that would have been small, big. Because this is something that probably you would not have seen. And now you can see it. So it makes the conversation, that aspect of communication in relationship much more evident. It makes it more important now to speak. Because people see things, sometimes inadvertently, sometimes you even do without any intention, without any ill motive. But in social media, somebody will just see it. Sometimes even a friend who will call and say, hey, have you seen your husband or your wife? Have you seen a comment on a post and all those kind of things? Because like I said, it's a marketplace. Social media is a marketplace. Everybody sees whatever it is that is going on.
Yeah.
So yes, it demands a lot of communication and conversation in relationships. It becomes more evident than before for people to really communicate about their feelings, their likes, and those kind of things. In fact, to the extent that you can even discuss with your partner, what it is that you like and dislike when it comes to social media. There are times people post certain pictures that, if you are not happy about it, you simply can go to the DM and be like, you posted this picture, it looks like people is showing too much, or it looks like, your position is communicate. And I induce people not to shut their partners down when they have such concern. Yes, there are sometimes that the demands of our partners can be very daunting, can be very controlling. But you are in a relationship with the person. So giving a heed to what the person is saying sometimes just helps us. Because the social media era demands a lot of compromise, demands a lot of conversation and communication and agreements and so on and so forth. Just to be able to have a very good relationship. Yeah.
Well, talking about having a good relationship, what practical rule can couples adopt to ensure that social media strengthens rather than weakens their relationship?
Thank you, El. You need to be able to set very stringent rules to govern your marriage so as not to have the negative repercussions of social media affecting you. Now, you should have a time that both of you have to leave your phone somewhere. You see, going into your bedroom and holding your phone is just metaphorically inviting a crowd into your bedroom. Sometimes we don't like to put our lives in the public, but sometimes it helps because the people that don't know whether this is possible or not possible. So, for me in my home, aside being in the hall and probably a very important conversation comes up, we put our phone somewhere and we do something about it. The bedroom is a no-go area for any place and any light and any texting. Once you get into the bedroom, the phone is placed somewhere. This might not be enough, but this can be a starting point. You go into people's, not go into people's bedrooms, but people go into their bedrooms, holding their phones, attention. The husband is texting, the wife is texting, no. Bedroom is for bedroom stuff. And bedroom stuff means bedroom stuff. Yes. That excludes the phone. Because you're supposed to be able to build a relationship. There's a time that you're supposed to reserve for that intimacy that must exist. And it has to be done consciously, or else you lose it. So that is one of the ways. The second aspect of it is being conscious about the relationship with the person that you are dealing with.
Okay.
And being mindful about the fact that whatever it is that you're doing on social media will affect the person that you are with. So a certain picture that you are taking with your previous showing, if you know that you realize your partner is the kind that likes you to show those things in public, then also just be mindful of what you post and what you don't post. It's very important. Because like I said, social media is just an extension of what happens in real life.
Social media is just an extension of what happens in real life. Brings me, I know you are hard pressed, you need to leave us. But if you
add one,
okay.
Having access to your partner's phone is something you have to be very mindful about. Your question should be, why do I want to see what my partner is doing on their phone, rather than a battle to try to sneak, to sneak and pick their phone and to see what's going on. Rather address your partner by saying that, look, I feel that you're being a bit sneaky. What's going on? That's the starting point. So the battle shouldn't be about having access to your partner's phone or not having access to it. The reason why you want to have access to it is what you tell to in the first place. Okay. Before you go deleting the business partner, your husband or your wife's business partner's numbers and so on and so forth, deal with what it is that you have the issue with. And don't go and pick their phone and start doing things on them without their consent. Because that can bring a bigger situation. Your insecurity or your challenge with a certain attitude and a certain lifestyle of your partner shouldn't make you start deleting stuff from their phone. Because you might just delete something that might end your relationship. And this is not me promoting people doing things on their phone. But this is me asking people to just be decorous in terms of how they deal with the social media situation in terms of their homes. So don't let the battle be when your husband leaves the phone down low, then you are picking it. Or when your wife puts their phone down low, you are picking it. There is a reason why you are trying to do that. This is your partner and deal with that.
Talk to your partner and deal with that. Brings me to my final leaving you off the hook is that if you could give one piece of advice to couples navigating love in the digital age, what would it be?
You might have to take the question again, sorry.
Now I'm asking that if you could give one piece of advice to couples who are navigating love in the digital age, what would it be?
Be careful. There are faceless faces behind the Facebooks. Facebook, there's supposed to be a book for faces, but there are a lot of faceless faces behind the books. The people chatting with you might not necessarily be what you think they are. So navigate this very carefully with a lot of wisdom. Social media has not come to take our sense away. It is now that we even need more sense to navigate it. Because a lot of things are not what they really are when it comes to social media. The flashy things you see might not really be what they are. Before we had social media, we had another that said that not all glitters is gold. In our age and time, that adage has become very, 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 very important. It is not all you see that really is what it is. That gentleman you have seen planting a car might just be AI. These days, with the inception of AI, it has really become word. So, if you are the kind that want to use the social media and all the technological gadgets and apps and so on and so forth to navigate your love and your relationship, be extra vigilant. Double check. So yes, social media can give you that link to the person, but make sure you double check on your physical presence. And this is what you visiting the person for the first time in their bedroom, meet at the public place. Establish contact. Get to know the person well, really well, beyond what it is that they're telling you on social media before you get deeper. Or else, you getting deeper might just launch you into deeper mess that might be difficult to recover from. And so let's be very, very wise when we are interfacing with the social media stuff. Or else, instead of being a good tool, it's going to be a devastating one. And it is much more devastating than age today. Because else, before then, if you are going to be disgraced, it's just going to be your neighborhood. But now, your shame and disgrace is going to be international. You will get to a certain airport and everybody see him and say, oh, is this not this guy? Blah, blah, blah. You don't want to be a victim of the negative repercussions of social media. Yeah.
Well said. As we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear. Social media is a simple tool. It can either strengthen a relationship or weaken it. Depending on how it is used. Technology may bring us closer, but an app can replace trust, honesty, communication, respect, and genuine love. Healthy relationships are built offline long before they are displayed online.
That is us.
So before posting, scrolling, or reacting, remember that the person beside you deserves more attention than the screens in your hand. A big thank you to Nathaniel for sharing valuable insight, and to everyone who joining us, viewing us, and those of you who send messages, join the conversation. We appreciate your contribution. Until next Friday, Love and Relationship segment. Keep loving intentionally, communicating openly, and choosing each other every single day. Nat, God bless.
Thank you, God bless you. Man, have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right.
All right, so stay with us. There's much more ahead on the Morning Focus on the Mega Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back after this break. All right, so welcome back after the quick break. We're still live on the Morning Focus, and we're turning our attention to look at some stories that has come in this morning. And as a 34.5 billion Ghana cedis pay out in the cocoa purchases as Cocoa Board inject more cash. Cocoa Board has injected more cash and then purchasing more cocoa. The Ghana Cocoa Board has released an additional 2.6 billion Ghana cedis to license buying companies, LBCs, to pay cocoa farmers, pushing total payment for cocoa purchases this crop season to more than 34.5 billion Ghana cedis. That is the story. Good news for the cocoa farmers. The purchases have started and they are making some small l'argent on that as well. That's huge sums of money. Other story, ex-G4S guard jailed in the UK over £117,200 bank fraud after 4 years stay in Ghana. Interesting. A former security guard has been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months imprisonment in the United Kingdom after impersonating a cash collection officer and fraudulently obtained £117,200 from a bank before fleeing to Ghana, where he remained for almost 4 years. A convict, 40-year-old Kwabena was sentenced by the Snellsbrook Crown Court after admitting a charge of fraud by force, representing and raising from an elaborate prescription carried out in July 2022. That's also another story. Abu Jinapo calls for Mahama Ramaphosa intervention as Ghana-South Africa diplomatic tensions deepen. We are wasting money. Professor Peter Korte says Ghana is paying billions to fail to prevent floods. Ghana is paying a heavy economic price for its failure to prevent flooding, with billions of cedis being almost lost through poor planning, weak investment, and ineffective infrastructure. Economist Professor Peter Korte has warned. Interestingly, I think what he's saying is a hard truth, very, very hard truth, whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
is a hard truth.
It's a hard truth.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is Prof for you, an economist. Now the one heading where I had my master's degree, the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy.
Yeah.
You know, look at the people who lost their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
A typical example, you saw a video of young men who were trying to pick some stuff, you know, from the rains.
The fridge.
The provisions. If I saw something like this way chocolate drink, you know,
pebbles.
These are people's businesses. These are people's businesses. Check the fire. You know, so we lose a lot of things. Look, the most precious thing is life. As at this morning, I learned we've lost about 30-something lives in Cape Coast, in Accra, and then in the Volta region. And then businesses. Look, people's investment. And they need to start from scratch. In fact, in most cases, NADMO has to go and support. The government has to support. All these are monies that could have been used for other things. The people whose businesses have suffered, I'm sure they also employ a few others. You know, real estate. People spent money, bought land, build their houses, and then just lose everything to the floods. There are people who will be affected by various demolition and all of that. So look, the effects of this flood, you will feel it if you are in it. Then you understand what it means.
Who feels it knows it.
He who feels it knows it. We are losing a lot. And why should this one become an annual event? So I say, Afibiano, we know that we are going to lose investment. People are going to die. People's vehicles. You save money. Look at how how much people earn in this country and how long you have to save to be able to buy a vehicle. People do that. Look, people work for 40 years, 30 years, 20-something years, save money. People even go for loans to buy vehicles, and then they'll be deducting from their monthly salary, and they just use everything to flood waters. I mean, it's very sad. Very, very sad.
Yeah, very sad. And it's Professor Akorte really nailed it. Because if you ask me, I would say that flooding has a significant economic impact. It destroys the homes, the roads, the bridges, the schools, the hospitals, and businesses. It disrupts transportation, commerce, reduces productivity, and forces government to spend billions on relief. Already 350 million is gone.
It's gone. Look, the
reconstruction and emergency response instead of long-term development. You see, what we why that's one deal. You see, look, others are saying they should move. Master, it's not about moving the capital that will solve the problem. It is not about going to site the capital somewhere else that will solve this problem. We know the problem. Why should somebody go and sit somewhere? Not or the why dumping mine. People will come and dump garbages. No, just or yana a fillet laguna. No more than here goes. No matter.
That's what people do in this Accra here.
That is what is happening. No matter. Shikon no matter. Almost I forget and say it's a lagoon. God in his own wisdom. Look at the sighting of Accra and see that we are bordered by the mountainous areas. Because if you look at our map, we are sitting on Atlantic. So all the water will have to come to Accra. From the mountains, it has to drop from the eastern corridor. It has to drop to us. Now, how do you cite even companies on a waterway that is going to the sea because we want investments? Now, why? Because we want investment. Instead of doing the right thing at the free zone.
You're talking about the Tema incident.
Yes, then you put companies on the waterway. The channel naturally that the water will have to go through, you block it. Then places like Adan, Agomenya, Afienya, Kwabenya, Pampram, they all get flooded because we want investment, so we can't think. So we can't do re-engineering of the place, even if we want to site it there. What do we do to the channel? Why don't those convicts that can collect the water and send it to the big gutters through the channels into the sea be done? Who supervise our jobs? Who are the people who look at the risk factors of it? Where is the environmental agencies that's supposed to look at it, that where the siting is, this is a problem is going to cause. Are the agencies that are intertwined not working? Why? What is wrong with us? We have agencies. We pay them. They will bath in the morning. They will move their vehicles and tell their families, we're going to jobs. We're going to work and come. Then we end up being in this mess. Losing lives. Losing properties. Monies that are for contingency reasons, we need to pick it. How do we keep doing this year on year? And we said, okay, if we move the capital from Accra, because Accra is choked, it's just a common sense. We aren't doing the right thing. We can move the capital to anywhere. This problem will persist. Why don't we solve the problem? Why don't we hold the bull by the horn and deal with the problem? We will sit here, we will lament, we will talk about it. People will proffer solutions. Look at the amount of money World Bank gave to us for the re-engineering of Accra. Things that Nkrumah has done, we cannot even work on it, maintain or expand it. will destroy it.
Destroy them.
Temamoto will be flooded.
Yeah.
It's a shame on us. Free zone, we put companies, then we get our communities flooded. It's a shame on us. A big one. We should hold our heads in shame. Bow it down. Not raise it up. Bow our heads in shame. Leadership is failing. We have become too selfish. Instead of doing service and being selfless, we have become too selfish a people. And that is killing the country. Everybody's thinking about himself or herself and her family and friends. Forgetting about the ordinary person. Who suffers the more? It's the ordinary, you and I.
Yeah.
Look at the debris. How did we get here? Every year it's becoming worse and worse and worse. Every year. Now, if we should get this rain again, 3 days.
Hey, I beg.
The whole city will sink.
Please, not even half a day.
3 days.
Radio Pacho.
Oh,
by then,
no, you can intervene for what? Intervening for what?
He can intervene.
If we are refusing to use common sense.
And so he will
bro,
you see, if you follow,
let the heavens open. Let the storms come. Let the heavens. You see, we it exposes us to the level. Say, we are refusing to think. So God will have to cause us to think. Because look, the wealth of a country is not the minerals beneath the earth.
No.
It's not the oil in our seas. It's in our hearts.
Yeah.
If we do the right thing, it's from our hearts.
Yeah.
If we all decide that we will change from our heart and begin to do the right, this country will turn around. Give ourselves some space. Site company no unim. Say waterway. Chanela ebeko seas no.
Yeah.
May I say the Omanpenyen Masako Kati, the second phase of it. Why are we like this? At the end of the day, near the Suwabe Bono. Meanwhile, agencies are one that are supposed to make sure the assessment has been done to the level set. It will not cause us problem.
Yeah. I mean, is that the only place they could
That is a thing. That is a big question. No, even if you want to cite it, there are things you can do to mitigate this.
Engineering, yes. I heard, what's the name? Kwakese, musician, talking about some of these things.
No, what I'm saying is that you can do it, but you can do it there. You can cite it. But there are things you have to do to mitigate
it. Engineering problem.
We have, anything at the late Kofi Wayi in the also, we don't have engineers. We have watchmen. They can retrofit things. Agencies will go on here. No, what is their job?
We've not. It's true. We've not given attention to some of these things, and that is why I will say one of my favorite politicians in this country is Engineer Kwabena Agyapong. Look, when I listen to Kwabena Agyapong's campaign, his manifesto launch, when he wanted to contest in 2024. Look, the way he's talked about re-engineering Accra, no politician in this country has said, and it looks like they are not even looking at this as a problem to be solved.
The thing is that people are benefiting from it.
And so the masses should suffer.
They don't care. That is why I said, look, leadership don't care. They don't give a hoot to you. They don't care. I mean, his son. No. Look, in a sense that we know, and if you look at the mapping of Accra, we know where the channels are naturally. We know. We know where all God put all those lagoons. We are here and people are building in that the penny there. We know. We have shown it on screen. We have called on authorities to do the right thing. Is the building not going on? Meanwhile, agencies now are they blind?
That is the question.
When you say the fourth estate realm of the media, me yesi dan anajo ya catch mo teshi assembly muni twa edan na ku for cycle. What did they say? Assembly said they don't have a permit. So how come the building was there?
How come?
Obi, I just can do the bottom. Order from above. You see, because the order from above my foot.
Yeah.
Because we need to be very, very strong as a nation to stop some of this thing. Agencies no good one.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Are they not communicating among themselves? Don't they know their mandates? Now, look at how people are losing their lives and their properties because of sighting of something somewhere which is preventable. Why couldn't you do the engineering work? I'm not against the company being there, but I'm against those who allow it to cause us pain, to lose life, to lose property. Even the company itself will bear the brunt of it. Because my equipment best obey investment, then equipment transfer because obi and decide say on the right thing. Now you send your man opinion. No, I go second phase 2 of it. Meanwhile, we've not done the right thing. In so better ne kunipa, ne fan for. I mean, what nonsense is this? Excuse me for my language.
No,
it doesn't make sense.
Excuse me.
It doesn't make sense. I said we are refusing to think.
Yeah, that is it.
We want to reset our minds. We are not helping this country.
Yeah,
Jessica, dredging. Jessica, politics. Obi cried in equipment, but just say,
politics.
I mean, what do we want?
This one, there's no.
What do we want? Nipa 32 must flat kill 32 people in 21st century Ghana.
Yeah.
Flat.
Yeah.
What's that because say me the other time? 3rd July 2015.
3rd June
2015. Nipa ewu ye no. Yenhwe nyansa bia.
Oh no.
Yenhwe bhi enfiri ho.
Yeah.
Ye can try and you gonna try and wo. Look at what has happened again.
Yeah.
Look at what has happened. Now it is moving from Accra. You see, that's what I'm saying. That when people are saying, move the capital Accra, it is a joke.
It's happening in Cape Coast.
It's happening in Cape Coast. It's happening in the Western North. It's happening in the Volta region. So what is it? What is it? It's not about moving the capital. It's about doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing.
We citizens, we are part of the blame. We are part of it. Obia pesikenti wakotina lagoon hu jijiska.
Betu bolengu.
Yembetu bolengu. Then my Penika said, when we went around the area and he saw, I was so ashamed. It's yendwini ya yehu kakara. Adiana wo yen. Na wo jisa envelope ni she obotomu say nipa ngu no. Onim say nipa ni moja na owo nsa ho.
Oh, the thing is that we are a people who are just thinking about the now. It is about the now, like the comfort now. What will I get tomorrow? It's not tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow take care of itself. So he's taking the money. He's building there or have a house here, not thinking about what will happen.
Why should a place like
Chad get flooded? How? Flood waters, flood waters move vehicles. I saw the people said these vehicles were not here. Not 1, 2, 3 vehicles.
Brought them there.
Flood waters brought.
Did you see the video we brought on the STC? STC mini bus.
Yeah.
It's saying.
Yeah.
Then it shows you the power of water. A turning.
Yeah.
Democrat storm drain, a dredging, pop.
Yeah.
A minimum. And we sit in this country, and there are people who have agencies that are supposed to make sure there's a re-engineering of the city.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of money the World Bank says they've sunk, and AFDB have sunk into the re-engineering of Accra.
Of Accra. What happened? Well, how did you use that money? Oko kan CMM bisa, you don't have the right.
No, the point is how could be say only one go say confo na say call.
Yeah, so this is what
today is Friday with a freestyle.
We'll be in this country and will think until the things exposed. It is something that will certainly expose us.
One.
Yeah.
We were here when COVID hit. Exposing
everything.
Nyame sa a woman to you to say
everything.
Because now Western world we expect say
Africa will die. Yeah.
And then Nyame yadom. Nyame yadom. Now in show emene. Now one kasa Ramsey site ye dey mount. And that's what I mean, what is wrong with us? What do you?
Look, if you are buying something there, look, I've had an experience, and I said, when I'm buying something, the kind of scrutiny I will do, the person selling the thing to you, look, the instructor BBI okay, flade,
as a koya oba idea now one December na hamatan pipe. No one feeling nature. Yes, I may say, stranger near trunk who can
yeah, into Ufi now, Kota assassin or I had the BBI okay, BBI perfect. One cassava due diligence.
Yeah.
One cassava, why a due diligence?
Why do we have?
I was telling you about the Chris Berry or Kakrako anymore that gutter there. Now we are talking about the size of our drainage, which is why they said places like Alaju, because Rollins air drainage. And for some time now, Alaju was not flooding. But you see, I know not to ball a good drainage anymore. When they, if you check the pictures, and out here, Obiako gata nini o wa ye gata no smaller and we see the AC honum. Yeah, you walk like 10 minutes you go do honum. It's weird sad.
Maybe I will turn a bad.
What say you have
to turn a bad.
Why you gata no wa push?
No, impeni for ehun.
Oh.
No, me just say timemu for no so ehun. Impeni for so ehun. No, me only my day nyame nwanwa crisis here. Only day nyame nwanwa. And then nwanwa say nsu okun yo. E ma dey ntia. So traffic light tough from. No one catch you say traffic light tough from baby e won mun yin fi o. Na yin fi a, ne bebe say ne bebe ni. Ne bebe ni.
We have a long way to go. Well,
we want to develop this country and we have negative mindset.
Yeah.
It's who can work on a bench juma de yen fence. Oh, kind graphic.
Oh, papa dia.
And then papa dia. Or money a menewo. Yeah, dia.
Yeah.
Or maya benifo akun ejama yen. Or maya as a mind papa was see a sum ye mine. Ye Jimmy home. Ye Jimmy home. Concert on Kwani, so oh, you can't be bored in Ghana.
Oh, yeah.
Where a bit of comedy.
Oh, comedy. Yeah, the cry.
You can't be bored in Ghana. Concert.
I saw one. The honorable Kwame Plus says that they flooded. Somebody comment and then that flashing program. Comedy, like I said,
we are not serious a bit. I did where I be. Let July pass.
August pass.
Let's August.
We are not starting work akra.
Erefi say.
Erefi see Ghana crowd is so crowd who can say so ato. Who cry Ghana and flooding that. Until you see April.
The part is what here move.
Yeah.
So guys, we have to make home. Look, I've Nyame Achemati.
You've traveled.
Me who Omaya is sissing show so. In show to who show back off. Smooth talk said day. Yeah, the chimney flashing off. But they don't flood. In show talk, they don't flood. Snow good, they don't flood. Go to Swaziland. Swaziland is an hour flight from Joburg.
From South Africa.
From Joburg to Swaziland and flooded mountainous city. Very clean. Watch your master. They are in Africa.
Africa,
quiet.
Africa,
very neat. Akwalaya wouldn't know with the 6 months and now 9 months or 9 to say, you know, and 2 people and training.
Or the sunny bottom.
Obiedi 35, 45, 55. Or say no more crash will be away 5 years.
Or bossito. Or bossing. What?
What's suit?
What's your suit?
No, no, there. What's your suit? What I do? A woman who what's your baller? Not than the car boots.
Not than car boots.
No, or do maybe I know it.
No, what? Wait, Nipa that's Eradide Adjine Ase Utrim Adjine.
What?
Now, do you know something?
Who now make cameras?
Oh, that's a one order. Or your papa dia for Jimmy ko sebe. It's here from Fanche. What the mo bi enum si olonja we no nto. Na ko ka tire ne sefa. Or the full cracker.
They say we tu ne car. Enye car kitwo. Ejina kwa. Asher left, Asher right. We be na trap. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
when we saw so old, yeah.
Oh, no, masa. You masa carry it from there.
Until 1 year,
it's 1 year, no. When you
sometimes let's adopt basic things. You when I buy water, what? See, I may be your bag, no more pure water.
Rubber pack bag. And I bag that the same one. I said, from the jeans, most of the BNBC and the robbers no say me. Why are we doing?
Can't you just learn a bit to throw through while plantain chips?
Yeah.
No, a mountain.
Sure, I did. Another style of money. Air pollution, which gives communicable diseases. Now, Kwabrania se mura. Or pejegum. Or try about 10 p.m. No pejegum. No wusionu and fano.
Yeah.
Oh, stone yadia.
Yeah.
Kunipa. Respiratory issues. Kunipa.
Yeah.
Communicable, non-communicable disease. Kunipa. So we are just killers.
If we
and then the whole thing.
Yeah.
There 12 na many things. Ghana for you queen.
Yeah.
We are wicked though.
If we all think like human beings.
No, you're wicked though. It's a sure the team pray prayer and thanksgiving. You're quite sorry come mosque. You too much.
Oh, kasa ye pa.
You too much.
Do you know something?
We are too wicked.
You see it's not as if
it's what to assassin now. Also was jibble the blocking lagoon. And they are real gusudi. And you go to say assassin now what too many pa. No one say honey and yet you won't one assassin beyond best Ghana. One of us has been a Ghana, but also assassin.
Yeah.
Why not the mouth?
Yeah.
Why not the mouth? Oh no, no, the assassin be by. Then you couldn't left, right. You put 32 na here. Mubia mokamono. Somebody no say free. Their blood will be required from your hand.
Very, very unfortunate.
Naka obi take na nso afano.
Yeah.
Na fi nkrofo ko gina we no so say ompie na we bie ni atwe no na ne nansen sewo. They say, "Hey, ye koya na say e bai."
Yeah.
Me nam na fi me hwe na ma ne be na me wura hu the extent of Jimmy all this years. And Yankopon person change and say we need to refine and reset our minds.
Yeah. I mean, it got to a point, let me be honest, I gave up. You know why? The people, it's not as if everybody in authority is not working on, but the people, and it starts from our schools, in our junior high schools, our senior high schools, the teachers who insist that the right thing be done, we call them wicked. Oh dear, cast your mind. Look at the teachers that in our school, you see, we need more on my own Jimmy. Oba school late, Obegwao. Headmaster, when I was doing my national service, I worked with one professor called Professor Mate Koli. Look, he's TA. When you come to lectures late as a TA, not the student, he will sack you. Now, students, and guess what? In the whole of psychology department, I'm sure if they ask you to mention, if they ask students to mention one of the weekend lectures in that department, his name they will mention. Why? Because my own Jimmy, he won't let you fool. It is these people we don't like. Now we think they are wicked. The people who insist that the right things be done. Spinters have been here for a while now. We used to have a certain policeman who used to be at Manette Junction here. A certain fair, short man. Driver ni biasa quality more than because we find China do what? Obama wa come back Estate Junction akoye U10 asamba. He will insist that the right thing be done. I let's say car for the answer. People were rejoicing because ni more day. Why I didn't any more day? Oh my own Jimmy. These are the people we don't like in our community. The teachers who will make sure the right things are done. Who call district assembly? I know there are people there who will not let some of these things slide. But the unwanted workers brother say, hey, akwa we there be o men fan for o de fa akwa we there say waji ejuma na boss say ejuma na pa. Foolish words. The people who look, that is how our brains have been designed. The teacher who will make sure you won't fool, yes, in the more than. The policeman who will make sure that the right thing be done. Or no, look, you go to police stations. Ask the people, police Niban and the more than. It is the one who insists that the right thing be done. These are the people we don't like. The bosses we don't like in our workplaces. The bosses we don't like. I am speaking as an employee. The bosses we don't like in our workplaces are the bosses who make sure that the right thing be done. And I wonder how we think as a people. Says that the people who see to it that we do the right things, who see to it that we don't misbehave, who see to it that we follow due procedure, due process, they are the people we tag as wicked. So there are some of these people, because they don't like some of those tags, almost super that. Because why is it that me wicked? Yes, so most of these people, unless those who are really the umbetiada, how can a student go to class late? The lecturer will complain, say the lecturer will need 3 more days. Who copy who you late bar. It starts from our schools. Those who insist that, look, why are students cheating in exams? Who is aiding the cheating? You there in your WASI in your high school now, me, I've lived in the system, so I understand. The headmaster, the teachers who make sure that nobody cheats in exams. My headmaster, they used to call him Aglaman or Yaibeni. Yes, need 3 more days. But why? Because he will make sure that you don't misbehave. Agla will tell you that your father brought you here for me to train you. When you misbehave, I won't sack you. I won't suspend you. It means I have failed. I will discipline you here. Go and bring your father on TSC. But these are the people we call wicked. If we don't change our minds and allow some of this whack thinking, where we tag the people who make sure that we do the right thing, our bosses, our teachers, the police officers, and co, who will ensure that employers, who will ensure that the right things be done. If we continue to tag these ones as the wicked ones, we are not going anywhere as a country. Why will you call somebody who will ensure that you do the right thing wicked and you want to prosper as a country? No.
Well, change starts from home, so let's begin to change our heart as a nation. I mean, sectors most affected in this flood is transportation and road infrastructure, trade and commerce, agriculture, housing and real estate, manufacturing and industry, tourism, insurance and financial services, public utilities such as electricity and water supply, because at a point they need to shut down certain transformers because the places were all flooded. Frequent flooding increases business risk. Yesterday we talked about how flooding affects the ports. Yeah, we did the weather, and I mean we have to invest in weather resilience. We have to be very apt as a nation because it will disrupt the supply chain, reduces productivity, it will damage businesses, assets, and slow the overall economic growth. Many experts believe that the current investment in drainage and flood infrastructure is insufficient. although government has undertaken several drainage and flood control projects, the rapid urbanization, poor maintenance, inadequate funding, and weak enforcement have limited their effectiveness. Enforcement is a big problem, because if you ask me why has Ghana struggled to stop construction on waterway and wetlands, the reasons include weak enforcement of planning laws. That's number one. Political interference is number two.
Big manism.
Illegal land acquisition is number three. Rapid urbanization is four. Corruption is five. Inadequate public education, six. And delays in prosecuting offenders. These are the 7 things that we are struggling with to stop the construction of waterways and wetlands. I think that if we expand and maintain drainage systems, if we dredge our rivers and major drains regularly, remove structures obstructing the waterways, strictly enforce planning regulations, improve our state waste collection and disposal, and we invest in a flood forecasting and early warning system, but we need it, and accelerate climate resilient infrastructure projects. I mean, the MMDAs, the traditional authorities and local authorities, should enforce building regulations. They should prevent encroachment on waterways, organize regular sanitation exercise. I mean, those times I know Accra will flood, some parts of the country will flood, but not to this magnitude. Not to this magnitude. We need to support emergency preparedness. We need to educate residents on proper waste disposal. We need to work to monitor flood-prone areas and ensure compliance with planning laws. If we adopt smart urban planning and using geographic information system, improving the weather forecasting, constructing climate resilient drainage, infrastructure, preserving with wetlands, expanding green spaces, now all the green spaces we are building on them. And we integrate into the climate adoption into national and local development plan, it will help us. If nothing changes, what are the long-term implications for us, for the economy, for national development? The country will face higher public expenditure on disaster recovery, slower economic growth. These are the consequences. Reduce investor confidence, because no investor will come and put, look, come on, what's your yashi? Santua. Investor confidence will drop. Will increase poverty and unemployment, because companies everything. Greater damage to infrastructure, raising insurance costs, will increase the vulnerability to climate change and reduce competitiveness in the region. More people will be displacement of communities. Some communities will be washed off. Then health risk, waterborne diseases, contaminated water and stuff. Should Ghana declare flooding a national development emergency and dedicate more resources to prevent rather than disaster relief? Share your thoughts with us on WhatsApp and SMS 053-715-863, or you call into the program right away. 053-715-863-8 is the numbers. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Ijama, we are sending me a message. I see. I see this your Friday freestyle. Firing from all cylinders. Chairman, relax, so you dig down. Yeah, I go relax. Floods are killing Ghana's economy. One traffic jam at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Because Ghana's worsening flood crisis is silently is draining the economy through loss of productivity. How many people went to work for the whole week?
That is the question.
We compare me once. Eco-free client say me bejisika ama company tale minumi honra
Udi own to Ghana abi.
no minumi honra
Yeah, cause no de own
no minumi
when you are so
my dear be I need to apologize.
Of course.
And I pay me son and my friend 1 fee and I'm sending the message I'm sorry. Master, the way I get onyame like go eat me. Like the guy go eat me. Productivity go low. It affects the economy. It's just a flood, but it affects the economy. Koko for the year two because she had a mom framing country year two muka. Nonsense. I did in America. My in America. FDA warns public against consuming food recovered from flood waters. 053015868 a number sir over to me afraid and a pay and near attribute in common ever near air coso a man ya woman ye baby ako ye charge my ye warani nti wonsum woni nyipa awan ya wana beye nti yembo ye bere ye. I know those patriotic songs are great, isn't it?
That's all right.
Yeah, those are good patriotic songs. Obey ya ofinya nara. Oh, na South Africa for the nyanya mo time.
Oh, amudi.
Monya dia moye. Na monya na mo. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Ma otibi no volume no. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
You are listening to you are listening to yourself on the TV. Jema nkomotwetwe no. Uti once another. And they tune free because me nya feedback kakra. Yanko also free fi koforidia. Yeah, frosting. Also free fi koforidia.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
She say you okay. We didn't baby of free fee.
The family appear in free just.
Okay. Appear until.
It's a fish and so each of for example, actually mercury about one check there's a kidney case who got now what's alive as our and only said none of us have a start seeing our they never go. Would be in the Bible. One day check your mind later. It's about saying story fire. Make the soul set but it. Among them, but what's it? It's really it's a patron cannot much of my name. I don't know, with the help of the because see why. Yeah, them have expert by years a bro because yes, it's said by them can grab at the open hospital. I can tell you that I'm a fellow. My son, I will keep me air there. happy better. A second into some mutual man, into sure every members of every suddenly. Into that, you must come in the captain was said, oh, dear, why you say, yeah, in the sticker for what the factory, mother for the and the car money. Oh, dear, but can say this can be a young man for them. Yes, I'm looking green now.
Mr. Maida, I say my first caller for the morning on the front burner. Now, you know La Boma Beach. You know that?
Yeah.
Ewala. What was that Beach Lagoon? Obi sit down on it.
Obi sit down lagoon.
Directly opposite the lagoon.
This very Beach Lagoon.
Beach Lagoon, yeah. La Boma Beach, no. Obi a sit down directly opposite the lagoon. It's in Pennyford say omu. Now only my dear mayor, people who you think, people that you believe, say omu nimdie, omu kran omu say your mind. People you respect so much, or when you be dinty, you're not penal and all yet. I mean, we have to move away from. Good morning. But my TV in the volume on coffin.
I'm not paying a result. Now, I'm not paying the Muslim. Now, Okaso began to answer because I'm paying for no. I know we need to be an arrow. That is here is me, we first time one, but Anna am paying for no, the get my phone 8 years ago because I never come there. So nearly sit down, you go. But if you sit down, you sit down, when you cry, but you better amanis. Now I can rent the bar, and I'm so glad to see me with me. Damn, come on, no, anyone you're not before. And your house, you are and your phone and the homes. But only the whole face that you sit down and one day. Now, I did go hard. I am a na dodo no aye be bọ ọmọbìnrin na wọte so ade ti na me kasa ye me me for ma ba ni na sa problem si no hu bata na mai tra bad e wo se wo ba e no be ti ye me bi du ni ade ti na me ka sa se ọmọbìnrin ma ma kwa nya de because ọmọbìnrin ku fa do ta so ni ni fa kan fo mo ti kan mo kaya papa ni be na be so ka sa ku fa do serious e ti ni so atop ni ma to se pray out the beach. Na yes sa obi amawaba the misses bi o ye o ba be ye ya tuti enti o ba ya 1 year and half no o sate kura one you be ya ko bi say ah o ta be so say nyama we ah ti ma fo wa ta se e no we na sa o ha we ba obi bi say o so ye lu sa na wa be ya fu pra ko tre o wi na the solution ba ye ko ti ko no ko to mo to mo ko bi say ba ko ti ko no ko say ye na wi na ba ko ka say obi tugo ta oba ana nsio ro ta nsio ni okapra ni esi asigo ta esi benso ebefo ho so he aswa adanse afanse mo kinya MC to policemen that for you to amana gala say we can be do the part so all from gala say no eso police body pay kon so mu e duru re ni how ba that man for mo da be ho mo ma pa ko nya hawo de bi o ka say ni be fe si ada ga ya e odi and what we done say to update that say guy oh the man for and ya pray what we so ya pray we so and near man say ya that be come on man go for na another guy say no sa how we yes how dey no free ho e ku fa so ba the person obi ko ha be fra sa don so no man we ya free ho and the next say to so man pani man with me go ha no wasa although na say he no I'm going to we know what can see here.
All right.
Now, can't be a man for your yeah. But
all right, thank you so much. Sir, he's he's welcome. I Adansi Asokwa hospital site and also. Galamsi and
hospital side.
Agenda 111 projects na ewada so kwado. Charlie, it's serious, eh? You see, I know, I'm reclamation and I'm the security I could go. Meanwhile, no, we know the person who is doing it. They will pretend. Hey, the pretense in this country, eh? I know what she do. I know what she. And yet. And I impounded. Now, so why impound you because
Hello.
it's very simple to know who the car belongs to.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ebi.
If I try,
Ebi bonite unyenko.
you mommy, German open.
Yeah, Joseph.
No, but me who the we have prefer.
I said, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, na me kana ma tenya ko me pa ban na so a. Oh,
I'm say, abeye yesu ene ye ban asomai.
Yeah. Na ubi ta wo fe. Before you won't say, young generation and your man, mad at the bonnet elf, we take to which they will see now. What do I do without her? I mean, someone will pay anyway, you may walk and you are suffering. Let me come out. Maybe they be American. You before you think before you slow up on them. Come on, believe on the money, ma'am. If you are coming, say, I'm going to get over you. Amengo enye to de wa paten wa ye mpunju ma ga na fam ya wa ye ni twa ntro dia ko to ene yi wo fi ho ene ya san de wa pa o so be o ti respect ene ni o ma se ni do da mani ma ma se ni o do ani e no ene yi ti policy o mo be yi na she fa o be ka ni no na ni o ma pa o ye na ma shire e do ma pa o ye na no mu ma fa I didn't make that. So, when you before we should be smart for women to make the other precaution. Almost will count when I have some kind of friend. So, you know, I make it off and what over one. Now, just say you will be found who put them a young quarter and your mom, and you will say, look at the war, 50 that you put the war on a window war, and the year like you or Deborah. When you know war. When I want right to play in the way now, that's a ball, I need to get the incident into so on top. And every Jamaica was to shake the put on not have to what Ghana law. They are when they Africa. In that you will know I to move. All I don't make this food. Always big day, I will show now. Let's be getting now. Oh dear, oh my, power, what put me desire. Ọba bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn kápọ̀ wúlò àfẹ́. Ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀yìn pẹ́sà kọ̀ọ̀tún náà ọ̀dà ìlànà tó fẹ́ ẹ̀yìn ọ̀hún kánú kúrẹ́kọ́. Kọ́wọ̀ yẹn ní ẹ̀yẹ́ tàbí ìdè mú.
So unfortunately, we've lost AB on the line. Also, bet me after 053-715-8638. Numbers 053-715-8638. Numbers are also be to me afraid 053-715-8638. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Me bache within baby of refi. Ose? Only for din tuja. Baba sa okasa.
Oh, but I didn't hear me.
I mean, you.
Hello.
Meet you.
Yo, the battle is trouble. I know we need to open your message. Book up for your new show. I'm gonna have. Would you be there? What I kind of around with? Open. Yes, very important here. I'm coming you. I'm coming very important high. Because very good in any people back. Godfather, any people back. Godfather. So, at the end, I don't mind the place. And the Amana woman, Babu, you your uncle, the idea, young people, they kind of my sister, a better it will bring that.
Ms. Midas, have a good morning out there. 053-715-8638 is the number. You can also join us. You can join us on 053-715-8638. And number sounds good to me. A friend. And am I hello, good morning.
Hello.
But my TV in the volume non from why? Matt, but my TV in the volume non from I. Okay, since I'm a tail. In your fraud than a free fee. Okay. Kobina ebo mark.
There, say go school. No one saw there. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah. Ete ohunti amman komotwetwe nyade. Betuma reduce TV no volume.
That could teach them a crew not get 1 + 1.
I'm the ebo mark here na adwen there obama ni TV no volume na akofom PCR. Afre bia ma TV no volume no nkofom. Ye ntwetwe nkomo no wo TV no do da ye twetwe nkomo wo phone no do. Nti abema TV no volume no akofom kura se te wansa na nye kasa. Oya da ma kasa no ochel ansa na asana twia no. Nti omwa. Oni ye twetwe nkomo na wo TV no so a. And okay, hello. Oh, chair man kusi or touches a satellite number form. And so as I just say, and Malcolm to channel and you're fine. When you call us, lower the volume on your TV set. Ghana for I say has warning. Your true power strain was on kind. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Also between me Fred ending come 053-715-8638 053-715-8638. Hello. Okay, it's all.
Yeah, Messi. Let's go school now. Get 1 + 1 is 2. But someone now ever who perform let's say teacher that pro but no be 1 + 1. Let's jam and let's say 8 answer there 0. Mo come now let's throw. About can start reading now. Only now was throwing. Is she not saying? On the na flag in the river. Also we 3 days. It's flooding in our call. Not that the outlet no. In Sunum got the model from the best. One call in Sunan, no one sits in Sunan, no one there, no one know. Who will fit the rollers in the time? Who would not princess ya? Who would not princess ya? It's still in your answer ya. What is in Sunan, no offer, on your one flow, on what no. Online solution, by a best abang. So by insisting Sunan, not the Major or Down, the way is how they're mitigating problems now happen. Contractors, yes, traveling, on Tiaman, it's some. You want to see you're feeling husband, yes, for the night. Opinion 160,000 beds. Opinion 800,000 beds, yes, about Tiaman. Now, I think when it's 6 years. 6 years, 1 year, not open up now. One with him answer. When man the cinema assassin of the factors not everywhere now, economic repercussions not everywhere now. This now is true. Medical now is true. But the work open the new reach, you know, what a significant problem. But no way of going to discuss. Meanwhile, conduct this discussion. But there are 6 years, 7 years. If you have 2 years, 7 years, 1 year, yes, sir. I'm going to see a man. I'm going to see a man. Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
it. Go to know why I can take a scenario. What can the city in a
Yancy Adasi, have a good morning there. It's Friday, the 10th of July, 2026. Love and relationship. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good by His grace, and yourself?
Yeah, of the phone. Hello?
Your friend was saying, I'll pray for him, sir.
Pastor, okay. When you go to work, everybody. And young Tata area, no, area, with the first, you don't saw a woman. But since the area, no, much citizens are the money to do by better conquer Latino, Coladu. And the woman is media, he is going to be a area that you know, that one can no, he said, don't pay a tap, because everybody have up. It will be a card of
all right, yeah, that's all the way from Sotium joining us. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also join us with your thoughts and comments. 053. Those of you who want to send messages, the same number via SMS or WhatsApp, the same number. It's a Friday. Let's do it together. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. 053-053. Nti mayente wonka na yemu bonko yenim. Few. You know, I'm looking at South Africa with this anti-xenophobia demonstration. After reading all meanings, initially they came out to say that no Ghanaian has been killed. Mm-hmm. Then later, the police came out with a report that there was a Ghanaian that was shot, but they believe it was extortion.
What is extortion?
You know, normally that's what they do. So it will be a war shopper. You know, that sort of thing. And that is according to the police. Now, anyone can demonstrate is not require extortion.
A shock. I'm becoming very disappointed.
And in South Africa, leadership.
Yeah, leadership. I mean, you can't be defending some of these things. Ghana highest never say ANC. Say we are going to march against foreign countries. ANC. I was listening to the president and he's trying to justify they have the right to protest and what protest against what? Against what?
Because you remember there was a quote by Desmond Tutu. I said that in times of evil or wrongdoing, if you choose to be neutral, you have taken the side of the oppressor.
Oh yes, absolutely. It is true. It is true. And the South African
government is not doing well because in South African government has not, they have not, with all this thing, they have not come out to condemn.
Condemn, absolutely.
I'm surprised at that.
You listen to, is it because of politics? They fear the repercussions of whatever their condemnation in elections and all of that. And so you are thinking about the elections, your elections, than the goodwill to be in the good books of the populace than doing what is right. I mean, I'm becoming very, very disappointed. I've decided not to even listen to some of those things again because it's getting very annoying that the whole, leadership can find reasons to support what is going on. I mean, it's very sad. And South Africa should not be doing this. And it is not true that foreigners are taking jobs
They are not doing public.
They are not. Foreigners are not taking the jobs of South Africans. It is not true. Foreigners are rather contributing to
the economy of
South Africa and employing South Africans. I gave a perfect scenario here. They should go and polish their skills. They should learn to start businesses. I gave a typical example that if I'm a Ghanaian in Ghana, El is a Ghanaian, he has a barber shop, and then Wale is a South African, also has a barber shop. My natural inclination is to go to the Ghanaian. True or false? True. Because me who is so eminia, and that is how humans are. It is natural. So why is it that I'll rather go to Wale, who is a South African? It should tell you that Wale is better than you.
That's the point.
So what do you have to do? You go and polish your skills. You learn how to do it better. You learn the trade. The things that ordinary South Africans will not do, that is what the Nigerians are doing. That is what the Zimbabweans are doing. That is what the Ghanaians are doing. And then you will later come and say they are taking over your jobs. So when they leave the shop, will you go and run them?
They are taking over their jobs. They are taking over their houses.
I mean, like how? I mean, how? They should go to school. Look, the ordinary South Africans should go to school. They should learn a skill. You don't go to school, no, learn a skill. Polish your skill, become better. Learn how to do the business.
Social welfare, attachment every month.
They should stop that. They should stop that.
Go back. Go back.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. When we are talking about the history of South Africa, it is not new to anybody. We all know about how countries came together to help you to fight apartheid. You are the last country to gain independence in this, apart from South Sudan, which, came from Sudan. In this Africa, people contributed. In fact, Ghana, our president contributed. Took money, gave it to your president, the late, to help him fight against this apartheid rule and become the president of the land. And then today, you have the guts to be sacking people. So if all the blacks in South Africa, will South Africa prosper? Will South Africa all of a sudden become United States of America?
And all of them will get jobs.
Don't we have South Africans in the United States?
All of them will get jobs.
Don't we? Okay, so if every country is to sack South Africans in that country, then they should also go home. Jacinto Sehwan a new fair media. If UK should sack all illegal immigrants of South Africa, that they should go to their country. The United States does so. Same. Nigeria does same. Ghana does same. All the countries in the world, France and Italy, they all sack you people to come back. Do you think you will be better off? Let's stop that.
Let's stop that. We're going for a commercial break. While we return, we'll bring you some more of the conversation. We've got some few more minutes to go. Stay with us. All right, so welcome back from the quick break. You're still live on the Morning Focus. It's time to bring in more conversation for you to also join us by way of your text, your comments, and your phone in. The phone line is still duly activated on 053-715-8638, 053-715-8638 is the numbers. The Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCOP Ayamga Y. Aklogu, has publicly disclosed that he was one of the petitioners who sought the removal of the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Tekonu, saying he feels vindicated by the event that eventually led to a removal from office. Wow.
Can you take the last part again?
The Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCOP Ayamga Y. Aklogu, has publicly disclosed that he was one of the petitioners who sought the removal of the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Tekonu, saying he feels vindicated by the event that eventually led to a removal from office.
He feels vindicated.
No tenor.
That's it.
When your achievement, what achieve the aim, a big achievement. A big achievement for honor. To my home.
No, not that I like to bring back old news.
Wama, the near just say, yeah, or can one more almost a young home.
Yeah,
it's in the near J.
You have legal, you can educate, and I believe some viewers also share this view with me. So, teacher ni ya promote you, say headmaster. We headmaster no, so we a teacher. I remember my dad when he was the headmaster, he was still teaching social studies. Na yes say odon ho afore for any maybe muntino. Ye full position as the headmaster. No chere say ye full position as a headmaster nintino. Mean tradias on kaho. You get the question I'm asking. So Gertrude Tekonu.
I'm trying to get the drift.
Gertrude Tekonu was a justice of the Supreme Court, the apex court of the land. She was just like any other justice there. And then she was appointed Chief Justice, went through the vetting, and then confirmed as Chief Justice of the land. Now, somebody petitioned the president that she had involved herself in certain acts, which act per our constitution would have been a violation, right? You can't hold the office of a Chief Justice and be traveling with your family on state budget and and the other components of the petition. And so a prima facie case was found, and then investigations conducted, and eventually she was asked to she was dismissed from her position as Chief Justice. Would that imply that because she's been dismissed as Chief Justice, she cannot also hold herself as a justice of the Supreme Court? I find it very difficult. I don't think I've listened to some explanations, but I don't think they still answered my question. Why is it that because she was dismissed as justice of the Supreme Court, she also is dismissed as, she was dismissed as Chief Justice? It also implies that she is dismissed as Justice of the Supreme Court. Are these not two separate positions? Yes, granted that the CJ must be a Justice of the Supreme Court. But if per your conduct as CJ, you are dismissed from the position, does it also imply that you cannot be a Justice of the Supreme Court again? Example also is an IGP. The IGP is appointed from among commissioners. So if an IGP misconducts himself in office and the president didn't see fit to sack him from that position as IGP, does that also mean that he's sacked from the police service altogether. He cannot be what's the name? A commissioner of police again. In my thinking, I thought that, if my conduct as CJ were unconstitutional, and so I was removed from that position, then at least I should be able to practice as Justice of the Supreme Court. Why should that one also be affected? I mean, is the question that...
Okay, I'm getting the drift of the question you're trying to put. So you have to say in the layman or in the layman parlance, she was a Supreme Court justice.
Absolutely.
And then she was promoted to
Chief Justice,
Chief Justice of the nation. And then she was removed from the office. In principle, I can say yes, but it also depends on how she was removed. In principle.
The how.
In principle, what you're saying is like, okay, so if she's been removed from the position of the Chief Justice, the promotion has, let's say, is more like the promotion has been reversed, right? She still becomes a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That's your argument. Hello, good morning. Let me pick this call. Hello, good morning. I think we've lost it. Okay. So this is how our system works. In a most common law system, the Chief Justice is first and foremost a Justice of the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Then elevated to head the judiciary. Okay? The Chief Justice is a Justice of the Supreme Court. Then elevated to head the judiciary. So there are two separate positions. The Justice of the Supreme Court is a judicial appointment. The Chief Justice is administrative or headship role over the judiciary. Okay. What happens if the Chief Justice is removed? If a Chief Justice is removed only from the position of Chief Justice, but remains a Supreme Court Justice, then she continues to sit as a Supreme Court judge. But if she is removed from the judicial office entirely through impeachment, a constitutional removal for misconduct, incapacity, then she loses all judicial status, including being called justice. Have I given a good explanation?
If you could take it again.
Okay.
Something was registering, but I want
your question you asked is like, okay, she was promoted to be Chief Justice, and then she was removed, and she still hold herself as a Justice of the Supreme Court, right? And I'm saying that in principle, is yes, she can still be a Justice of the Supreme Court, but it depends on how she was removed. Now, in our system, or the most common law system across the world, the Chief Justice is first and foremost the Justice of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice himself
is
a Justice of the Supreme Court. Then elevated to head the judiciary. Okay, so there are two separate positions. Justice of the Supreme Court is a judicial appointment. Now, Chief Justice is administrative or headship rule over the judiciary. Right? Now, what happens if the Chief Justice is removed? If a Chief Justice is removed only from the position of Chief Justice, but remains a Supreme Court Justice, then she continues to sit on the Supreme Court judge. That is one. But if she is removed from the judicial office entirely through impeachment, or constitutional removal for misconduct. So I'm bringing your mind back to the petition. Misconduct. If it's misconduct, then she loses all judicial status, including being called justice. Consider the other thing. So now, so she was removed So the question you need to ask, what are the key questions? Was she removed as Chief Justice only or removed from the Supreme Court entirely? Removed as Chief Justice only, still a Supreme Court judge. That's one. Removed from office as a judge is no longer a justice of the Supreme Court. And also, just to clarify, the Chief Justice by name, Justice Tekonu, in recent records, you may be referring to different aspects. There are people that has been removed. So the same thing I say Ubisa IGPD. What do I say? Now she was impeached. Sanka Omu removed no, without any impeachment, without any misconduct, she'll still become a Chief Justice at the Supreme Court. She'll become a justice at the Supreme Court, but not a Chief Justice. But here's the case: she was impeached, and they found misconduct. So you see, I use the word misconduct. When there's a misconduct, she loses all status, including being justice of the Supreme Court. It's not the cases in were thrown out by law. You know, I always say that the law is the law. By law. Once there's a misconduct word in there, she loses it. We cry like you say, you can say the former Chief Justice. In some other jurisdictions, that word, justice, is off.
Wow.
So that is how it is. The law is the law. What do you say? The law is the law. Once she was impeached, she loses that status as well. So based on the most recent developments, Oshena, she was removed from the office of Chief Justice and also from the Supreme Court entirely. So after the removal, she's no longer a Chief Justice, a Justice of the Supreme Court, addressed as Justice and official judicial capacity. This is because her removal was carried out under constitutional process for removal of a superior court judge, which does not strip the leadership role. It ends at the judicial office itself. You see, so you ask yourself, does she still hold herself as justice? Officially, no. She cannot continue to use the title Justice of the Supreme Court. Socially, historically, people may still refer to her as a former Chief Justice or Justice retired or removed out of respect or habit, but there is no, that is not her current legal status. You see, the word justice to her name, Krano, is gone off.
So, I get this point.
What is it?
You see, but I have a personal problem. It's not as if I have any special interest in Tokonu or no. It's not about Tokonu. It's about the position, right? Because personally, I've had some issues with her conduct as Chief Justice. So it's not about Tokonu at all. It is about the office he occupies. And so I was looking at the grounds for removal from office as Justice of the Supreme Court. Article 146.
Once they use the 146,
then it means that
you are losing.
You are losing both. Then that is where my beef is. Say, why can't we have a separate, your friend saying, grounds for the removal of a Chief Justice?
We have I gave you two scenarios.
Yes, I got the scenarios.
If she was removed as the head of the judiciary.
I got that explanation very well, but you see, my issue is that some of the petitions, right, will not have even come up if she was just because I'm just trying to create a distinction between the Chief Justice and other justices. Not that I'm looking down upon.
You are looking at if she was
not a CJ, she was just again not because I look down on that role. It's a very prestigious, but just to create a distinction. If she was not a Chief Justice, but a Justice of the Supreme Court, some of the allegations in the petition will not even come up. I feel like some of these allegations came up because of the role you know, as because look at things like traveling, and it is the position. So if she was just like Justice Eni-Yeboah at the time, or any other justice, sorry, at the time, who was not the Chief Justice, some of these allegations cannot come up, right? So why then don't we have a separate grounds for the removal of a Chief Justice and then a separate one for the removal of Justice of the Supreme Court? Because you could do certain things in your position as Justice of the Supreme Court, which will be viewed as misconduct per that position. But when you just oppose it to acts of a justice, not a CJ, they are okay. So why would you lose both? Because look, Obia Koskusa, Yejuma could do that position.
I get you.
And then just by their role as CJ, no,
yeah,
they lose.
You see, you can look at why a lot of people think the Article 146 is controversial, because removal of Superior Court judges, including the Chief Justice, that is the one for removal of the Superior Court judges and Chief Justice. The same 146 is controversial mainly because of power, independence, and also politics. Okay, the president receives petitions, appoint members of the inquiry committee. Critics argue this can create room for executive influence over the judiciary. So now you can look at the politics aspect of it. A judge can be targeted indirectly through political motivated petitions, which we saw. Because most people believe that some of the petitions were politically motivated. Okay, now once a prima facie is established, the threshold is subjective. Now, this subjective makes it quite difficult in the sense that the president decide if there is enough evidence to investigate.
Being advised by the Council of State.
Being advised.
It's not a singular decision.
That is it. So there is no strict formula for this decision because the different president could interpret the evidence differently depending on whichever president is in power. Then the suspension of the Chief Justice, once proceedings begins, the Chief Justice can be suspended, which the president follow the process. Then the suspension before the final proof may look like punishment before trial is complete, even if it's temporal, which we all saw. Now, the composition of the committee, although it includes judges and respected persons, critics also argue that appointment process still follows through executive influence. Others believe that there can be influences that goes in there. So those are the acts. But how does 146 protect judicial independence? It's also one thing we have to look at. It's something that nobody has talked about, in the sense that despite the criticism, for 146 has a strong safeguards. One, judges cannot be removed easily. A judge is not removed by the president alone, by parliament alone, public pressure. It is required a formal constitutional process. So now the investigation is done by independent committee. The judge is judged by a panel, not politicians. This includes senior judges and professionals. This is protection fairness. Number one. Now, the right to defend oneself is also there. The judge has full opportunity to hire lawyers, present evidence, and cross-examine witnesses. It behaves like a court trial. When it gets to that process, it becomes like a court trial. Now, the president is bound by the outcome. The president cannot ignore the committee's recommendation. And this reduces executive influence at the final stage. Now, if you compare Ghana to other countries, strong constitutional process, the Article 146, but some executive involvement in early stages. That is where most people believe that those executive involvement in the early stages, that's where the influences come. Now, let's take, for instance, the United States. United States judges are removed through impeachment by Congress. Very political, but fully legislative process.
Impeachment
by the Congress.
Congress.
Yes. Judges are
Impeachment
removed
by Congress.
Yes, judges are removed through impeachment by Congress in the US.
So why is it that here the president, and you see, I'm not having any issue with.
I'm giving you a scenario.
If we are copying from the most advanced democracy in the United States,
yes, so
the impeachment must be done by a committee of Congress.
Yes,
which I know it consists of
very political, very. You see the word. I'm choosing my words very carefully. It's very
but at least
political,
but
Congress,
fully, there could be,
but it's fully legislative process.
Sharp. So there are members of the green, members of the blue in that committee. In Ghana, if it is a case of a justice of the Supreme Court, the CJ alone, Chief Justice, mere justice. Now, you alone must establish prima facie.
Okay.
And then after that,
it is not me.
You are the CJ. The constitution says that the CJ. Then after that is done, the same CJ will now establish a 3-member committee. To investigate those allegations. Certainly there will not be fairness. So why can't this be done by Parliament? At least we will know that.
No, so that's why I gave you 3 scenarios. Public pressure cannot take the person out. President alone cannot take the person out.
But if the president wants to take the person out, he has a way he will do it.
The
president is the one appointing.
I'm following the process. You are asking me a question. I'm giving you the process that we need to go through. Now, let's take the UK for instance. The United Judges are almost impossible to remove in the UK. They are impossible to remove. They require parliamentary address in the UK. That is extremely real before it happens in the UK. Now, let's go to just our neighbors, Nigeria. Nigeria, similar to Ghana, requires investigation plus the National Judicial Council involvement. Okay.
National Judicial Council involvement. But it looks like in our case, they are not even involved. Though.
No, so in our case, in Ghana's case, like I said, the judge is judged by a panel, not politicians. That is why it goes to the Council of States, not the politicians. Okay. Now, which includes senior judges. That committee.
The committee. That is after a prima facie case is established.
No, before.
But okay, before one judge in our case.
Yeah, so before
one must be.
There's a judge. There's a senior judges that are involved and professionals.
No, we are talking about the establishment of a prima facie case.
No,
which will be done by
before. I'm giving you the process. People have criticized the 146. But 146 has a strong safeguards for the judges' independence. Now, judges cannot be removed easily in our case.
Are you sure?
A judge is not removed by the president alone. I'm giving you the process. I'm looking at it from the Article 146 angle. A president alone cannot.
Okay.
The public pressure cannot.
Okay.
It requires a formal constitutional process before you can remove the judge, which if you look at the process, investigation is done by independence committee. The judge is judged by a panel, not politicians. Okay? Then we have, which include judges and professionals. They will do those things. The judge also has the full opportunity to hire lawyers, present evidence, and cross-examine the witnesses who might have brought the case against him. So it behaves like a court trial. When it comes to that level, ours become like a court trial. But you see, and then the fourth thing it does is that the president is bound by the outcome. Bound by the outcome.
Great.
In the sense that the president cannot ignore the committee's recommendations.
I get that.
Right.
I get
so this reduces executive interference. If you want to look at in plain words, in the process. It reduces executive interference at the final stage. However, like I said, I gave you comparison. 146 is a strong constitutional process, but some executive involvement in the earlier stage. Okay, that is why you have some places where the Council of State will have to study, blah, blah, blah. Now, Article 146 is a balanced system. In a sense that 2 weak judges cannot be untouchable even if misconduct happens. That's a weak aspect of it.
Yeah, I understand the process.
Politicians can easily control judges. That is a strong aspect of the 146 of our hours. Okay. Now, so Ghana tried to sit in the middle. If you look at our law, we try to sit in the middle, but the debate is whether it leans too much towards executive influence or not. That is how we have to look at it, because people believe that if any party comes in, can find a way to go through the process and get you out.
Let me give you the practicality of what is involved.
So exactly what you're saying. That is why you have you feel that it was engineered.
No. I'm not implying that any fact.
No.
It is not about this.
No, not this one. I'm saying that if you look at it from that angle, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying if you look at the whole system, the process, which is in a balance, we sit in the middle of what other jurisdiction does. It gives people the force sense that if I want to remove the person, I have to find people to go that process to find a fault to deal with the person.
So let me give you what I am thinking right now. So the president receives petition from the public or whoever thinks that the CJ has conducted herself in a certain way, Then the president, per the constitution, will form. Will give that petition to the Council of State, which Council of State will determine a prima facie case, as in there is substance in the petition. On the face value, her petition now banwa vis-a-vis her conduct and what the constitution says we think that there is a case in there worthy of investigation. That is prima facie case, initial. Now, who appoints the Council of State? Yes, you mentioned that it must include astute members of the judiciary. Currently, until recently, but at the time, former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu was part of the Council of State. Dua Jaho was in there and others. But mind you, that Council of State, some of the members, not all, because we also have voting, members who are also elected, but some of them are appointed by the president. So we can't say that in a way, practically, I'm talking about practically, not in a way, the president has some level of control over the Council of State. So he can even determine or decide what will be the outcome of their prima facie determination. And that is why I've heard some people who are advocating that the Council of State should be made like the upper arm of government, as we have upper house in the UK and the Senate, in the US, right? Because they feel like that will give it more independence and credence to some of their, their decisions as compared to what we have now. But to the effect that the president appoints members of the Council of State, he still has some control over them. Now, when that is done, after they have established...
The Council of State have voted for.
Sorry?
They have voted for.
Oh, no, but the president appointed Dua Jaho. Nobody voted for him to go to. Some of them are voted for. I learned that every region or so must have a representative.
You have some that you bring to add up to.
Yes, so that one they are voted for. But in fact, for the core members of the Council of State, let me use that word, including who chairs the Council of State, it is appointed by the president. But that is a conversation. So what I'm trying to say is that still, if you look at it, and it's not about Mahama and this, I'm talking about the system we run. So one can say that the president still has some influence over the Council of State. Now, after they have determined the prima facie case, what is the next step? The same president will now have to constitute a committee. Look at it carefully. the president, don't we have a judicial council? Why must the president be the one constituting a judicial, a committee to investigate that petition? That is where I also think that some level of executive influence can also go in there. You see, so that is after what the law says there, you can say that, oh, if somebody does not really understand, as a or sure, because oh, Ghana system is good. But think about the fact that the president appoints members of the Council of State. The president has to set up this committee. Some people may feel like, oh, if you are part of this committee, I know in recent times, Obekaya, the petition against the EC commissioner, and then what's the name? Special prosecutor. I know those ones were dismissed because there was no prima facie case. Yes, so there is that. That could also happen. That is not every petition that will go through. But I'm saying that if the president thinks that this person, I don't want to work with this person, and I want to get them out, trust me, they have a way they can do it. Because our system cannot resist it. If I appoint my Council of State and they must determine the prima facie case, and I tell you that I don't want to work with this person, I'm just saying what I've also heard, that Enyema will be in Tina, Yamami Sofayakufu resign here. I mean, also what is answer MDB. Although some have also said that, oh, she has that kind of relationship with Getutokonu, and so yeah. But to her, she feels like the system was not fair to her. So I'm trying to say that maybe we should be looking at these things very well. If the president will now set up a committee to investigate the CJ, why did we have a judicial board in the first place? So I think this is something we should be looking at. You cannot fault those, which I don't believe, because I know president is not vindictive, but he is human. You cannot fault those who think that this might be engineered. You cannot fault them entirely, because if you really look at our system, it is a possibility. But if we have a system where these things are determined by a judicial council, then you can't blame the president when it happens. That is what I'm trying to.
There's one thing that you see on stage one, the petition is filed by any citizen.
Any citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it goes to the president. Now the influence level, like you said, is high, but it's also important. It's indirect, but important in the sense that the president is the gatekeeper, who initiates the constitutional process. Now, but the president cannot ignore the properly filed petition.
Yes, that is true.
Properly filed petition. Number two, the prima facie, the president determine whether there is a prima facie case. It's up to the president to determine that. The Council of State cannot determine. They can give their report. It's up to the president to determine, and that influence is very high. In the sense that if the president say no, there's no prima facie case. The matter
die, we die.
They die. If he said no, when he receives,
like in the case of Jim Mensah.
Yes, if he says no.
Like in the case of special prosecutor.
Yeah, so when he sees the report and he goes through it and he said, oh, no,
it's no. So let me ask a question. Don't you think that Bernard can say that?
So that is where but you see, if the prima facie case is found, that is when the committee is formed.
Let me ask before you go on.
When the committee is formed, then they will go into the matter. Then it becomes like a court trial.
Yeah.
Witnesses.
Then they'll call you to also come and give your account
until they are able to ascertain that there was some wrongdoing. Then they will now give the recommendation, which bounds the president. So if their recommendation say there is no case,
says no. Like in the case of special prosecutor, even before that petition was sent, we all knew what John Mohammed's position on the special prosecutor is, that we should allow them to work. Let's give them time. Don't you think Bernard can say that, oh, it is because
feel that there's a prima facie case, that it goes into the committee, and the committee looks at it. The president does not decide the outcome.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, he does not
decide the outcome.
When it gets to that level, he does not decide the outcome. So the outcome was from the committee, which he is bound to follow. So if the committee has said, oh, when we look at it, although there was something, but he's been able to defend and blah, blah, blah.
I would like to read Professor.
It's now been tested at the High Court. First, it sits at the center, accountability versus independent debate, executive versus judiciary tension. We've gotten to all those stages before.
Yeah.
So if in summary, it's like that. But the current Chief Justice removal triggered the debate on transparency, the fairness of in-camera hearing, and whether judiciary is truly independent from executive influence. All this thing came into play during the removal, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, I think that we've staged over. Okay, we have some 5 minutes to wrap up, right? 5 minutes to wrap up. 053-15. Also will be big count to bet me the account here. China. Republic. Oh, I leave there.
If you're saying 70, no, it should be more than 70. That was 1960. No, yes. So 57 years ago,
yeah,
we decided that 67 years ago, we decided that Ohima Queen, Tina baby, yeah, so yebitimi ebu fully. You know, after independence, myself, I struggled to understand the difference between independence and the republic. So, yes, so a lot of people do not really know. Independence is when we said that, no, we are free from colonial rule. But even 3 years following independence, that is 1957 through to 1960, the Queen still had influence over us. You know, so we had what we call head of state, right, which was Nkrumah, right, from 1956, until when we became a republic, fully, self-governance now, self-reliant.
Yeah.
We are no more under any influence of the United Kingdom or UK, Britain, or whatever it is. So, 67 years ago, we decided that 66 years ago, we are now a republic.
Yeah, 1960.
Yes. Republic of the Gold Coast, Republic of Ghana. Yes, Republic of Ghana. Yes, and you know, as of now, we still have some countries that are not republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are still under some form of, you know,
rules and stuff like
from the UK. So yes, I mean, it's a milestone in our history, and we deserve to celebrate. And guess what? The United States of America, by far the most
250 years.
250 years of independence. That is tomorrow, 4th July.
4th July, there will be 250 years.
Yeah.
As independent United States of America.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. We'll get there.
1776.
2026.
250 years.
Yeah,
and those men
still counting.
Those men met, you know, in Philadelphia to sign that powerful, you know, declaration of independence. The Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and co. You know. So yes, also in the United States, it's a big day.
It's a big day.
And today is also a holiday.
It's a holiday in the United States, just as we also enjoy our Republic Day.
Yes, we also.
Well, in the absence of anything, any final comment, we need to go then.
Yes, in 24, please. This time, we know they like lip service. By 2027, next year, June by this time, we don't expect that flooding will be controlled entirely, because we can't do it in a year. If we want to really do a good work, we can't do it in a year. It should be work in progress. The work in progress should come with results.
Sure.
That is what we are expecting. So it's not lip service. We don't want to during September night I say you forget it class
you started bubu niama ebedu into Tobra actually we say we don't stop working. Let's work throughout the year and get ourselves ready and prepare and get resilient climate, resilient infrastructures that can stand the test of time. Then the modern era, let's use technology, resilient infrastructure, so that we can hold the volumes of the water. If probably we should be thinking about how do we recycle all this water into an irrigation system where we can need it in the future, so that we don't contaminate our water bodies. Those of you doing galamsey, well, this is where time will permit us to come your way today. We're so excited to be with you every morning from 6 a.m. to 10:30 in the morning. It's a Republic Day. Enjoy your Republic Day with the peace of God that comes with it. Enjoy it with your friends and family and say a prayer for Ghana. It's been me, Al Samuels, together with
Bernard Memo Eduji.
And together with the production team, we want to say a very good morning to you and enjoy your Republic Day with God blessings. Take care.